It is Thursday, August 13th, 2026. And if you pulled out your phone this morning to search for something online, there's a very high probability you never actually saw a traditional web link.
Yeah, it's just a staggering reality to wake up to, honestly.
Right, because the click, as we knew it, is officially dying.
It really is. I mean, we've spent the last 2 decades building an internet based on a very, very simple transaction.
A user searches and you give them a link.
Exactly. The user provides an intent, the search engine provides a list of destinations, and the user travels to one of them. But that actual click is evaporating.
Well, welcome to the deep dive. Today, we have a mission that feels almost like digital forensics,
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
because we are staring at a stack of freshly compiled SEO and tech reports from today, again, August 13th, 2026, to decode this massive shift in the internet's architecture.
A shift where AI citations have essentially overthrown the traditional search click.
Okay, let's unpack this. Because if you want your business, your blog or your brand to be seen today, we absolutely cannot look at the strategies of 2024 or 2025.
No, those are completely obsolete.
We have to look at what the user is actually staring at on their screen right now, today.
Right. And what they're staring at is an interface that is heavily generated by artificial intelligence.
Like Google's AI overview.
Exactly. Google's AI overviews, along with their broader AI mode, they're no longer experimental features you have to opt into in search labs. As of today, they are the dominant default search experience.
Which is wild to think about.
It is. If you are querying anything in, say, the health space, technology, or science, these AI overviews are hijacking the top of the page on 25 to 48% of all queries.
Wait, almost half the time?
Yep, nearly half.
So a user asks a complex question about, I don't know, a new medical device, and before they even get a chance to scroll down to a hospital's website or a tech blog, the AI just synthesizes the entire answer right there at the top.
Precisely. The search engine is no longer a map. It is the destination itself.
Wow.
And because users are getting these synthesized answers instantly, traditional click-through rates are just plummeting.
So the game is completely changed.
Entirely. The new battleground isn't tricking a user into clicking a blue link anymore. It's engineering your content so that the AI fundamentally relies on your data to generate its answer and then cites your brand as the source.
Which completely upends the dashboard that site owners are looking at on the back end.
No, absolutely.
Like Google just rolled out massive updates to Search Console. We are now looking at this, what is it called? The generative AI performance report.
Right, the new performance report.
And it doesn't track clicks in the old way. It actually tracks citations.
Which is a huge paradigm shift for marketers.
It shows you the exact AI overviews your site was referenced in. And they didn't even stop there. The platform reports now track external discovery across YouTube, X, Instagram, and TikTok.
What's fascinating here is how visibility has just shattered across multiple surfaces. The traditional search engine results page, the Aspirate ARP, is just one single node now.
Out of many.
Right. But to your point about Search Console, Google has introduced this critical toggle. Site owners can explicitly opt to include their site as training and citation material for these AI overviews.
The include option.
Yeah, and all the data from our reports today shows that leaving this set to include is an absolute must. Getting cited strongly correlates with this halo effect of higher overall brand visibility.
Okay, I'm trying to picture the real-world equivalent of this. It feels a bit like walking into a massive library.
Okay, I like where this is going.
In the past, the card catalogs just pointed you to the aisle, and you had to go read the book yourself. Now, the librarian is just standing there reading you a summary of the best chapters.
That is exactly what is happening.
But here is where I struggle with this whole include strategy. If traditional clicks are dying, and the AI is keeping the user on the search page, why on earth would a site owner opt in?
I see what you mean.
Aren't you just letting a trillion-dollar company strip mine your hard work for free? Like you're just giving it away?
It is the ultimate paradox for publishers today. It really is. But let's look at the actual mechanics of what happens if you toggle that switch to opt out.
Okay, what happens?
Well, the AI does not suddenly pack up and go home.
Right.
It doesn't tell the user, oh, sorry, I can't answer this. It simply looks at your competitor, the one who did opt in, reads their data, and cites them instead.
Oh. So you're just making yourself invisible.
Exactly. But does a user actually remember the brand cited in an AI overview? That's the real question.
Yeah, be honest. Because I read those summaries, and I barely glance at the tiny little citation footnote at the bottom. Am I actually building brand visibility, or am I just flattering myself as a business owner?
You might not consciously register the citation every single time, but we are looking at a massive shift to brand impression modeling.
Grand impression model.
Right. The AI is repeatedly reinforcing a brand's authority. So when that user eventually hits a friction point, maybe they need to actually buy the enterprise software or hire the lawyer or book the plumber, they bypass the search engine entirely.
Oh, because they already know who the expert is.
Exactly. They navigate directly to the brand that has been quietly cited as the authority for the last 6 months.
Okay, assuming I buy that, it leads us right into a massive technical contradiction.
Let's hear it.
If the ultimate goal of 2026 SEO is to get cited by an AI, you absolutely have to let the AI bots crawl and read your website, right?
Theory, yes.
But we are currently watching a massive war unfold over bot access. Like, publishers are actively fighting this.
We are. And the most significant development on that front hits next month.
The Cloudflare thing.
Right. Cloudflare, which essentially acts as the security bouncer for a huge portion of the global internet, is rolling out severe new default settings on September 15th, 2026.
I was looking at these defaults, and they are aggressively granular. I mean, they are allowing standard search bots through, so you can still get indexed for the traditional links that are left.
Which you still need.
Right. But if a page displays ads, Cloudflare is defaulting to block training bots and agent bots.
Yes.
And the craziest part is how they are handling multi-purpose bots. If a bot crawls for search indexing, but also secretly siphons that data off to train a large language model, Cloudflare just drops the hammer and blocks it entirely.
Which forces site owners into an incredibly tense position.
I bet.
You want the citation, obviously, but your infrastructure is now actively hostile to the machines trying to learn your content.
Right.
And there's a massive wrinkle here regarding Google specifically. John Mueller at Google has publicly stated that their crawlers do not use or respect LLMs.txt files.
Hold on, let me get this straight. So publishers have this standardized text file, LLMs.txt, to explicitly signal to AI bots, hey, please don't scrape this specific directory for model training.
That's the industry standard, yeah.
And Google is just entirely ignoring the standard protocol.
They are completely bypassing it. Mueller's stance implies that if Google ignores the text file, they might very well attempt to bypass or ignore Cloudflare's blocking signals, too.
What's their justification for that?
Arguing that their crawling is essential for serving users, essentially.
That is wild. So I put up a giant no trespassing sign in my front yard, and the biggest delivery truck on the block just casually drives right over the sign and tears up my lawn.
Yep.
Just because they refuse to acknowledge the concept of a sign. How do you even operate a business like that?
Yeah.
Like, how on earth are site owners supposed to optimize for AI visibility if they are simultaneously relying on Cloudflare to block the bots so they don't scrape their ad-supported pages for free?
It requires surgical precision at the server level now. You can no longer just have an open door or a closed door.
Right.
You have to selectively configure your server protocols to route specific types of traffic to specific directories.
That sounds like a nightmare.
It is technically exhausting, but let's assume you manage to thread that needle. Let's assume you let the right bot in. The actual methodology of what that bot reads like, how you actually write your content, has completely fundamentally changed.
Okay, yeah. If I manage to get the bot into the club, how do I make sure it actually talks to me and not the site next to me?
Exactly.
This brings us to the rise of GEO, generative engine optimization.
Right. By mid-2026, GEO is not some fringe theory anymore. It is the core discipline of digital marketing. And the engine driving GEO is relevance engineering.
Relevance engineering. I have to say, it sounds like a very clinical way to describe writing an article.
It is clinical by design. We have completely moved past static keyword tracking.
So no more stuffing words on a page.
Exactly. You don't optimize a page for a string of text like affordable accounting software anymore. You are now required to map out query fanouts.
Okay, let's unpack this for the listener. If you are sitting there optimizing your company's site, a query fanout means you aren't just answering one question. You have to map the entire conversational web that a user might traverse when talking to an AI. So if they ask about accounting software, the AI might fan out to ask about tax compliance in specific states or integration with specific CRM tools.
Exactly. You are explicitly designing your content not as a narrative for a human to enjoy, but as highly structured training data for a large language model to ingest.
Okay.
And this is where entity SEO becomes paramount. You have to structure your site around clearly defined people, places, and concepts using aggressive schema markup in your site's code.
Like what kind of schema?
Organization schema, person schema, product schema, FAQ schema, all of it.
I want to push back on the complexity of this, though.
Correct.
If I am a local plumber, I used to just throw up a page that said, "We fix burst pipes in Chicago."
Sure.
Now you're telling me I need an entity stack that defines the corporate identity of my plumbing business, the biographical schema of my master plumbers, and the conceptual nature of hydrojetting, all wrapped in JSON LD code.
If you want the AI to cite you as the definitive authority on plumbing in Chicago, yes, absolutely. If we connect this to the bigger picture, we are witnessing the final death of keyword matching.
Wow.
The AI doesn't care that you typed the word plumber 15 times. It reads your site to understand the actual concept of your business and evaluate if your entity is the most credible source of truth.
Here's where it gets really interesting. It sounds to me like treating a website as a glossy interactive brochure is a dead strategy.
Oh, completely dead.
You now have to write and build your website like a heavily coded textbook, explicitly designed to teach a machine.
That is the perfect analogy. You are structuring raw data for machine consumption, fully trusting that the machine will later translate that data into a friendly, conversational answer for the human user.
But man, building these omni-channel content networks sounds incredibly expensive and out of reach for a small local business with a tiny budget.
It can be, but for small to medium businesses with limited budgets, you don't necessarily have to hire an expensive engineering firm today.
Okay, so what do they do?
The highest leverage activity right now is focusing on extractability.
Extractability, meaning how easy it is for the bot to grab the answer.
Right. Auditing your top pages to ensure the formatting is pristine. Direct, concise answers placed at the very top of the page.
So no long intros?
None. Bullet points. Tables. You want to hand the AI the exact sentence it needs to answer a user's query with zero fluff.
But even with extractability, the barrier to entry has undeniably skyrocketed, which is why the tools marketers use have had to evolve so aggressively. Let's look at the command centers, the 2026 tech stack.
The entire software industry has had to pivot because humans simply cannot process query fanouts and entity relationships at the speed the web requires now. Semrush One.
But they aren't just showing you search volume anymore. Their dashboard now tracks brand mentions natively across ChatGPT, Perplexity, and Google AI mode.
And the mechanism behind that tracking is crucial. They aren't just scraping results. They've integrated an AI copilot.
Oh, right.
It digests all that raw brand mention data and isolates exactly which AI prompts are triggering your brand and which ones are leaving you out.
Right, it does the heavy lifting for you.
Exactly. Instantly handing the marketer the exact gaps in their entity SEO.
Then you have Ahrefs at $99 a month, which is still the standard for link analysis. But look at the sheer infrastructure they are running today.
It's massive.
They are updating their fresh link index for top domains every 15 to 30 minutes. Why does anyone need to know their backlinks in 15-minute intervals?
Because of the speed of AI-generated spam?
Oh, I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, malicious actors can spin up thousands of toxic, spoofed websites in minutes and point them at your domain to tank your authority. Ahrefs is using AI to automatically flag sudden anomalies in link velocities so you can disavow them before a search engine penalizes your entity.
That makes sense. It's defensive crawling.
Exactly.
Now, for the actual content creation side, Surfer SEO has really held its ground because AI writing is totally commoditized now. Anyone can generate a 2,000-word article for free.
Right. The creation is free. The battle is in the optimization.
So Surfer uses natural language processing to generate a content score, benchmarked in real time against the current SOP.
It measures semantic coverage. It tells you, mathematically, if your article covers all the nodes in that query fanout we discussed earlier.
Though it is facing stiff competition from tools like ClearScope, which many marketers prefer for scoring purely human written content.
Sure.
But let me play devil's advocate on Surfer for a second, though.
Go for it.
If AI content generation is a cheap commodity and everyone is using it, and then I take my AI written article and I put it into an AI optimization tool like Surfer to make sure it pleases the AI crawler from Google, aren't we just having machines check the homework of other machines? Where is the actual human value in this loop?
This raises an important question, and it is the exact existential crisis the SEO industry is wrestling with this month.
Right.
If you just have machines talking to machines, the internet becomes a closed loop of synthetic noise.
Which takes us to Screaming Frog. Right, because they handle the technical foundation of all this.
Exactly. At $290 a year, Screaming Frog is indispensable because modern websites rely heavily on complex JavaScript frameworks like React or Angular.
And rendering that code is computationally heavy for bots.
Yes, it is. But Screaming Frog's true 2026 innovation is their AI-powered prioritization feature.
I love this feature because in the old days, a crawler would just hand a developer a spreadsheet with 10,000 broken links and missing tags, and the developer would just ignore it because it was overwhelming.
It was completely unmanageable.
Now, the AI actively triages the technical issues, ranking them by their estimated impact on your traffic.
It bridges the gap between identifying a problem and executing a solution. Notice how all these traditional tools have pivoted. They aren't just giving raw data anymore. They are using generative AI to drastically reduce the time to action for SEO teams.
I look at this whole tech stack, and it feels like driving a modern race car.
How so?
Well, the dashboard isn't just showing you your speed and oil pressure anymore. The dashboard is actively reaching over, grabbing the steering wheel, and swerving to avoid potholes for you.
I love that. But to go back to your devil's advocate question about machines checking machines, despite all this automated steering, all the bot blocking firewalls, and all the relevance engineering, the ultimate deciding factor for AI visibility in August 2026 is entirely human.
And this is the great irony of all this advanced tech. Let's
Yeah.
talk about EAT. Experience, expertise, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness.
Yes, EAT is crucial.
Because brand authority is no longer just a nice marketing buzzword. It is a hard, algorithmic prerequisite. AI search engines don't just want facts. They want facts from sources that humans already trust.
And how does a supercomputer measure human trust?
Right.
Through relentless sentiment analysis. When an AI model is deciding whether to cite your brand in an overview, it is simultaneously parsing the entire web for the emotional context surrounding your entity.
So it's looking at the velocity of positive customer reviews, unlinked brand mentions in reputable news outlets, podcast interviews. It acts as a massive signal of real-world credibility.
Yes. And conversely, if the sentiment analysis detects a spike in negative sentiment, like a wave of terrible reviews or poor productions, the AI will actively suppress your citations.
Wow.
No matter how perfect your schema markup is, they will drop you.
So what does this all mean? It means technical SEO professionals can no longer hide in a dark room tweaking code.
No, those days are over.
If your company isn't doing real public relations, if you aren't cultivating genuine thought leadership, your technically flawless website will remain completely invisible to AI. SEO and brand marketing are essentially the exact same job now.
They are inseparable.
Ranking on the internet today isn't about passing a technical inspection. It is about winning a massive, messy popularity contest that is judged by a supercomputer analyzing human emotions.
That is the reality. You structure the data for the machine, but the machine is ultimately searching for the human heartbeat behind that data.
If you are listening to this right now, whether you are a business owner trying to keep your head above water, a marketer tweaking your tech stack, or just a deeply curious learner wondering why your search results changed this morning on August 13th, 2026, you now know the mechanics behind the curtain.
Yeah, the rules have been rewritten.
The blue links are fading, the bots are demanding structured data. But ultimately, you have to prove to the machine that you are the most trusted human in the room.
And I want to leave you with a final thought to mull over. We have established today that AI engines in 2026 rely almost entirely on EET, pre-existing high brand authority, and positive public sentiment to decide who gets cited.
Right.
If that is the absolute gatekeeper for visibility, how will a completely new, unknown, but revolutionary idea ever break through that algorithmic echo chamber? If you don't already have the authority, how do you ever convince an AI that you deserve it?
It is the ultimate chicken and egg problem of the new internet. We love unpacking these deep structural shifts with you, and we hope you walk away today with a much clearer map of this wild digital landscape. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive, and we'll see you next time.